Welcome to Story Ask, where you will speak English by listening to stories. Today's story, an expensive mistake. Vocabulary. Here, 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 here. Postman, 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 postman. Letterbox, 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 letterbox. Letter, 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 letter. Envelope, 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 envelope. Open the envelope, open the envelope. Scissors, 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 scissors. Stamps, 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 stamps. Cut out the stamps. Cut out the stamps. Cut out the stamps. Cut out the stamps. Your bag, your bag, your bag, your bag. Lunch time. Breakfast, dinner, lunch, lunch time, lunch time, lunch time, lunch time. Your friend. Big apple, big apple, big apple, big apple. Swap, swap. I give you my sheep and he gives me his apples. Sheep, apples. Sheep to him, apples to me. Swap, 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 swap. swap, okay, one more time. Listen and look and move if you want. Here, postman, letterbox, a letter, envelope, scissors, cut out the stamps, your bag, lunchtime, your friend, big apple, swap, eat, again, listen, you move. Here, postman, letterbox, envelope, scissors, cut out the stamps, your bag, lunchtime, your friend, big apple, swap, eat, now watch me and you think of the word or speak. Here, postman, letter, envelope, scissors, cut out the stamps, your bag. Lunchtime. Your friend. Big apple. Swap. Eat. Story time. You hear the postman. Run to the letterbox. There is a letter for you. Open the envelope and put it on the table. Take the scissors and cut out the stamps. Put the stamps in your bag. Go to work. At lunchtime, your friend has got a big apple. You swap the stamps for the apple. Eat the apple. Eat the apple. One more time. Make the gesture. Move. You hear the postman. Run to the letterbox. There is a letter for you. Open the envelope and put it on the table. Take the scissors and cut out the stamps. Put the stamps in your bag. Go to work. At lunchtime, your friend has got a big apple. You swap the stamps for the apple. Eat the apple. Now watch me. Gesture. You think or speak. Now listen to the story one more time. You hear the postman. Run to the letterbox. There is a letter for you. Open the envelope and put it on the table. Take the scissors and cut out the stamps. Put the stamps in your bag. Go to work. At lunchtime, your friend has got a big apple. You swap the stamps for the apple. Eat the apple. Okay, so you hear the postman. This is the postman. You hear the postman. So can you hear the postman? Can you hear the postman? Question. Can you hear the postman? Yes, you can. All right. Can you see? Can you see the postman? Can you see the postman? No, the postman is outside. You are inside the house. You cannot see the postman. You can hear the postman. Can you hear your neighbor's dog? Can you hear your neighbor's dog? Can you hear your neighbor's woof woof dog barking, can you hear? So here you are, this is you, this is your neighbor, and this is your neighbor's dog. So can you hear your neighbor's dog? No, you cannot hear your neighbor's dog. You can hear the postman. So can you hear the postman, or can you hear your neighbor's dog? What can you hear? Okay, so can you hear the postman, or can you hear your neighbor's dog? Woof, woof. What can you hear? Well, you can hear the postman. Okay? And what is the postman doing? What is the postman doing? Okay, what is the postman doing? Is he singing, tra-la-la, or is he eating an ice cream? Or is he whistling? Is he whistling? Okay, this boy is whistling. Or is the postman delivering a letter? Well, he is not singing. He's not singing, and he's not whistling. Okay, and he's not eating an ice cream. No, the postman is delivering a letter. Okay, he is delivering a letter for you. He's delivering a letter. Okay, the postman is delivering a letter. So you run to the letterbox. Okay, this is the letterbox. So you run to the letterbox. Okay, do you question, do you run to the letterbox? Do you run to the letterbox? Question. Yes, you. So, do you run to the letterbox? Yes, you run to the letterbox. What about your dog? Does your dog run to the letterbox? Does your dog run to the letterbox? No. Your dog does not run to the letterbox. Your dog is not interested in letters. Your dog is sleeping. Okay? He does not run to the letterbox. You run to the letterbox. Do you run to your garage? Do you run? So, do you run to your garage, where your bicycle is? Do you run to your garage? Do you run to your garage? No, you don't run to your garage. You run to the letterbox. So do you run? Do you run or do you walk? Do you walk to the letterbox? Do you run to the letterbox or do you walk to the letterbox? Well, you don't walk to the letterbox. You run to the letterbox. So who runs to the letterbox? Okay, who runs to the letterbox? Who? Do you run? Do I run? Does your dog run to the letterbox? No, your dog doesn't run to the letterbox. I don't run to your letterbox. You run to the letterbox. So where do you run to? Where do you run to? Okay, where? Do you run to your garage? Do you run to your bathroom? Or do you run to the letterbox? Well, you don't run to your garage. You don't run to your bathroom. No. You don't run to your garage. You don't run to your bathroom. You run to your letterbox. Well, what time? What time is it now? What time is it? Well, now it is 10 past 10. 10 past 10. 10 past 10 in the morning. Oh, there is a fly circling my head. It is 10 past 10 in the morning. Okay, so there is a letter. There is a letter for you. So question, is there a letter? Is there a letter for you? Is there a letter for you? Well, yes, there is a letter for you. There is a letter for you. A letter, not an email, a letter for you. A love letter. There is a letter for you. Is there a parcel? Is there a parcel for you? Is there a parcel? From Amazon, is there a parcel for you? Well, no. There isn't a parcel for you. There is a letter. A letter. This is the letter. This is the envelope. This is the letter. So there isn't a parcel for you. There is a letter for you. Is there a newspaper? Do you read the newspaper? Do you read the paper? Is there a newspaper? Is there a paper for you? Is there a paper for you? No. There is not a paper. You don't have a paper. No. And there isn't a parcel for you. There is a letter for you. So is there a letter or is there a parcel for you? What is there? What is there for you? What is there for you? What is there for you? Is there a letter? Is there a parcel? Is there a newspaper? What is there for you? Well, there is not a letter. There is not a parcel for you. There is not a newspaper for you. There is a letter for you. So who is the letter from? Who is the letter from? Who? Write in the comments. Who is the letter from? It's a love letter. Who is the letter from? Write in the comments below. I want to know. So you open the envelope. You open the envelope with the envelope with the scissors. Okay. Well, no. You just open the envelope, not with the scissors. You open the envelope. Okay. And you put it on the table. So do you open the envelope? Do you open, no, not the table. Do you open, one moment. Okay. Do you open the envelope? Do you open the envelope and put it on the table? Well, yes, you open the envelope and you put the envelope on the table. Okay, so do you close? Do you close? So open, close. Do you close? Do you close the envelope? Do you close the envelope? Well, no, you don't close. You don't close the envelope. You open the envelope and you put the envelope on the table. Do you throw the envelope away in the bin? Do you throw the envelope in the bin? Well, no, you don't throw the envelope away. You don't throw the envelope in the bin. No. This is the bin, okay? So you don't throw the envelope away. You put the envelope on the table. So do you throw the envelope away or do you put the envelope on the table? What do you do? What do you do with the envelope? What do you do with the envelope? Do you throw the envelope away? Throw it away? Or do you put the envelope on the table? Well, you put the envelope on the table. You don't throw the envelope away. No, you don't throw it away. So what is inside the envelope? What is inside the envelope? What is it? What is inside the envelope? What? Money? What is inside the envelope? Well, you tell me, okay? Write it in the comments. What is inside the envelope? Okay, so you take the scissors and you remember the stamps? You cut out the stamps. Here, you cut out the stamps. So do you take the scissors? Do you take the scissors? Well, question, do you take the scissors? Well, yes, you take the scissors. Okay, so do you cut out the stamps? Do you cut out the stamps? Do you cut out the stamps? Yes, you take the scissors, and you cut out with the scissors the stamps. So, do you take the scissors, or do you cut out the stamps? What do you do? Well, both. You take out the scissors and you cut out the stamps. So you take the scissors and you cut out the stamps. Do you take a knife? Do you take a knife to cut out the stamps? Do you take a knife? No, you don't. You don't take a knife. No. So, well, what do you take? Do you take the scissors, or do you take a knife? What do you take? What do you take? Okay, so what do you take? Well, you don't take a knife, you take the scissors. And what do you do? What do you do with the scissors? What do you do with the scissors? What do you do with the scissors? Okay, well, you cut out the stamps. And why? Why do you cut out? Why do you cut out the stamps? Why? Why do you cut out the stamps? Well, because you have a friend. This is your friend. You have a friend who collects stamps. He collects stamps. He likes stamps. So you put the stamps in your bag. You put the stamps in your bag. So do you put the stamps in your bag? Do you put the stamps in your bag? Yes, you put the stamps in your bag. Okay, so do you put the stamps in your lunchbox? Do you put the stamps in your lunchbox? No. You don't put the stamps in your lunchbox. No, you don't put the stamps in your lunchbox. You put the stamps in your bag. Do I put the stamps in your bag? No, I don't put the stamps in your bag. You put the stamps in your bag. So do you put the stamps in your bag, or do you put the stamps in your lunchbox? Where do you put the stamps? Where do you put the stamps? In your bag or in your lunchbox? Do you put the stamps in your bag, or do you put the stamps in your lunchbox? Well, you don't put the stamps in your lunchbox. You put the stamps in your bag. Okay? So why? Why do you put the stamps? Why do you put the stamps in your bag? Why? Why do you put the stamps in your bag? Well, because you have a friend who collects stamps, and you want to give your stamp to your friend. And so you put the stamp in your lunchbox and you go to work. Okay, you go to work. So do you go to work? Question. Do you go to work? Well, yes, you go to work. Okay, you work in London. I don't know, you go to work. Do you go home? Do you go home? No, you don't go home. You are at home now. So you don't go home because you are at home now. So you go to work from your house. So no, you don't go home. You go to work. Do you go to the post office? You know, do you go to the post office? Do you go to the post office with the stamps? No, you don't go. You don't go to the post office. No. You go to work. So where do you go? Where do you go? So do you go to the post office, or do you go to work? Where do you go? Well, you don't go to the post office. No. You don't go to the post office. You go to work. You go to work. And how many stamps do you have in your bag? How many stamps do you have in your bag? How many? 1, 2, 3? How many stamps do you have in your bag? Well, you have 1 stamp. Only 1 stamp. But it's a very special stamp. So at lunchtime, this is breakfast time. this is lunchtime, and this is dinner time. So at lunchtime, your friend he's got a big apple, okay? At lunchtime, your friend has got a big apple. So does your friend question, does your friend have a big apple? Does your friend have a big apple? Question. So does your friend have a big apple? Or I can say, I can make it in two ways, the question. I can say, does your friend have a big apple? Or I can say, has your friend got a big apple? It's the same, okay? No difference. So, does your friend have a big apple? Or has your friend got a big apple? Same, okay? So, well, yes, your friend has got a big apple. He's got a big apple. Okay. Does your friend have a big apple at breakfast? No, your friend does not have a big apple at breakfast. Your friend has a big apple at lunch time. At lunch. So what does your friend have to eat at lunchtime? What does your friend have to eat at lunchtime? What does your friend have to eat at lunchtime? What? Does your friend eat spaghetti? Does your friend eat pizza? Or does your friend have a big apple? Well, your friend has a big apple at lunchtime. He doesn't have pizza. He doesn't have spaghetti. He has a big apple at lunchtime. And how many? How many apples does your friend have? How many apples does your friend have? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many apples? Does he have 1 apple? Does he have 2 apples? How many apples does your friend have? Well, your friend has 1 big apple. You swap the stamps. So you swap. So you give your friend the stamps, or the stamp. Well, let's say you swap the stamp. Okay, let's 1 moment. So you swap the stamp. So you give your friend 1 stamp, and your friend gives you 1 apple. Okay? So, you swap the stamp for the apple. So do you swap the stamps for the apple? Do you swap the stamps for the apple? Yes, you swap the stamps. You swap the stamps for the apple. Do you buy the apple? Do you buy the apple? No, you do not buy the apple. No, you don't buy the apple. Okay, you don't buy the apple. You swap the apple for the stamp. Or you swap the stamp for the apple, more like. So what do you swap? What do you swap for the stamp? What do you swap for the stamp? What do you swap for the stamp? Okay, well, you swap the apple for the stamp. You take the apple and you give the stamp. There is no money. There's no money. Okay? You don't buy the apple. You swap the stamp for the apple. So who swaps the apple? So well, who swaps the stamps? Who swaps the stamp? Oh, sorry. One moment. Who swaps the stamp for the apple? Who swaps the stamp for the apple? Okay, who swaps the stamp for the apple? Well, you swap the stamp for the apple. Okay? And who swaps the apple for the stamp? Well, your friend swaps the apple for the stamp. Why does your friend swap the apple? Why does your friend swap the apple? Huh? Why? Why does your friend swap the apple for the stamp? Well, because your friend collects stamps and he likes your stamp. So you eat the apple. Okay? So do you eat the apple? Do you eat the apple? Do you eat the apple? Yes, yes, you eat the apple. Do you eat the stamp? No, you don't eat the stamp. You eat the apple. So do you eat the stamp or do you eat the apple? You know, what do you eat the stamp or do you, what do you eat? What do you eat? What do you eat? Okay, so do you eat the stamp? Do you eat the stamp or do you eat the apple? Well, you, of course, you eat the apple. You don't eat the stamp. You lick the stamp, but you don't eat the stamp. You lick it. Okay, so what does your friend do with the stamp? Well, the next day, your friend sells. He doesn't buy, he sells. He sells the stamp for €9,856. He sells the stamp. Your friend is very happy. Are you happy? Okay, so an expensive mistake. This is a penny black. It's called a penny black. It's a very, very rare stamp, and it's called a penny black. I think this is Queen Victoria. So an expensive mistake. You hear, I will read slowly. You hear the postman. Quickly, you run to the letter box. There is a letter for you with a stamp on the envelope. You go back inside. You open the envelope with the stamp on it, and you put the envelope on the table. Next, you take a pair of scissors and cut out the stamps. You put the stamps in your bag and you leave the envelope on the table. Then you go to work. At lunchtime, your friend has a big apple. You swap your stamp for the apple. Your friend is very happy. You eat the apple. The next day, in the paper, oh, sorry, this is a spelling mistake. So, the next day in the paper, in the newspaper, well, the next day in the newspaper, what? What do you read in the newspaper the next day? Write it in the comments. Okay, but write a story. Okay, not one sentence. No, I want more. Give me more. Okay, come on. Not just one sentence. More. There's a lot of work here. I want you to write. Okay. So, I will read quickly. An expensive mistake. You hear the postman. Quickly you run to the letterbox. There is a letter for you with a stamp on the envelope. You go back inside. You open the envelope with the stamp on it, and you put the envelope on the table. Next, you take a pair of scissors and cut out the stamps. You put the stamps in your bag and you leave the envelope on the table. Then you go to work. At lunchtime, your friend has a big apple. You swap your stamp for the apple. Your friend is very happy. You eat the apple. The next day, in the newspaper, Well, write. Okay, now come on, I want you to write. Okay, write. Okay, this is my work, but also your work. Okay, work together. You need to write. Okay, this is your homework. Okay, not just me working, you work too. All right, so thank you for coming. I hope you liked the lesson. If you liked the lesson, please give me a like. Okay, it's really important. Subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell. See you next week. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye.